All right, guys, welcome in here on a Monday. Monday is fun day. It's another edition of the Joe Raineri Show, brought to you by our good friends at uwager.lv, where you guys, I hope at the very least, are doing a little bit of line shopping here tonight as we head into a Monday night football game that is got to get your blood flowing, right? Like, who isn't excited about watching the Miami Dolphins play the Pittsburgh Steelers tonight? How many of you, right? Raise your hand right now. It's got to be, yeah. Well, the bottom line is, if you're going to watch this game and torture yourself, then you might as well make sure that you get the best number, which is what it is all about, guys. Line shopping. It's one of those things that, you need to do in order to create long-term profitability as a sports investor. We tell you this all the time here, guys. Do not just settle for a number because it's the only number I have available. You have options, especially offshore, guys, especially with UWager, a place that we use a ton. And it's so very simple, too, right, guys? You just call 1-800-UWager. You give them the code JRS50. They'll set you up with a VIP account. They'll drop a 50% deposit bonus match into your account. Put in 100, they'll drop in 50. Put in 50, they'll drop 25. Either way, you'll have options, which is what you need in order to be profitable long term. You can't just settle for a number. There is a huge difference in tonight's game alone between getting, 13 and a half, or getting 14 and 14 and a half. And that is really what I have seen across about 9 books already today, about a full point difference in a lot of places. So you got to have option, guys. And, of course, it starts by having a book that you guys can trust. No hassle payouts, the best customer service. That's what they do at UWager. 1-800-UWager. The code is JRS50. Get yourself set up with that 50% deposit bonus match right now. Also want to invite you guys to head over, of course, to our friends at where else? sportsmemo.com, where right now you got a whole bunch of guys that got plays up there ready to rock and roll. Our good friend Dr. Chuck RX has been absolutely on fire in the NBA. He's 9-1 to start the year off already, guys. I mean, his NBA has been phenomenal, and not to mention coming off a pretty damn good NFL weekend. So these are the kinds of guys that you have available to you. Our friend Andrew McGinnis is also on a 16-1 run right now. 16-1. He's won 16 of his last 17 plays up over at sportsmemo.com. These guys are there. They're waiting for you. All you got to do, along with Teddy Covers and Drew Martin and the whole gang, is there. Head over to sportsmemo.com and give yourself an opportunity to make it a profitable Monday and start to the week. That is sportsmemo.com. Also want to thank our good friends over at paperhead.com. We'll get to them in just a second. But let's talk about a free play here we got going on tonight. We'll talk about the NFL, Monday Night Football. We've got ourselves the 0-6 Miami Dolphins, a team I happen to know very intimately here because they're in my backyard. And unfortunately, I can't get away from them. They're like a bad rash. And yes, they probably make a cream for that, but it's neither here nor there. We got an 0-6 team with Fitzmagic behind center going up against a Mason Rudolph, former Oklahoma State alum. Mason Rudolph led offense of the Pittsburgh Steelers. In Pittsburgh coming off a bye, no less. How cool is that? The Pittsburgh Steelers are coming off a bye week. They are 2-4, and they're in a division where, let's face it, the Cleveland Browns are hot garbage as long as Freddie Kitchens is calling the plays and leading the team. And then, of course, you got the Baltimore Ravens, who are the head of the class there in the AFC North. And then there's that college team, the Cincinnati Bengals, with the farewell tour for Andy Dalton this year. The AFC North is still very much up for grabs. So this is a pretty damn big game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But ultimately, what are we talking about here? We are talking about a 2-4 team whose defense has come a long way, that being the Pittsburgh Steelers. But unfortunately, just not the same offensive team that it was with Ben Roethlisberger or Le'Veon Bell or Antonio Brown. Now, The Miami Dolphins have a plan, and their plan was to take a blowtorch to this team, to this roster, and put it bare bones, people, like bare bones. And they just went ahead and I think they finished it up. They went ahead and traded, I believe, Kenyon Drake today, right? Wasn't it? Yes, Kenyon Drake gone. Yes, the last player with actual talent on that team has been moved to the Arizona Cardinals, who have no active, healthy running backs on the squad, except now they've got Kenyon Drake. So what does it all mean? Well, it means you're going to get a lot of Kalen Ballage. It means that Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to be under center tonight, and it means that the Miami Dolphins are getting 14 and a half points from the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it's laughable on a lot of levels because, guys, I can tell you this, having talked to a lot of the guys in the books here today, a lot of the odds makers that I spent time talking with, they are blown away with the lack. It doesn't make a difference what they do. They can't get anybody to bet on the Miami Dolphins here tonight. Like, they can't get any action whatsoever. And that's okay because the public is obviously – they're a little skeptical about laying the 14 points with Pittsburgh, but the public money that has come in has backed Pittsburgh. And they cannot and won't back the Miami Dolphins. Now, when you have an opportunity like this, when the betting public wants absolutely nothing to do with one team, in this case, we are talking about an all-time historic tank job here in the Miami Dolphins, well, that provides opportunity to the professional bettors, to the sharp bettors. Now, those guys that I have talked to today, I know who they're betting. And it ain't the Pittsburgh Steelers, guys. Not even close. In fact, many of the power rankings and many of the look-ahead lines that I've seen in this game, including our very own here, this was a 10 and a half points at max. This is not a 14 to 14 and a half point difference between these two teams, especially with Ryan Fitzpatrick, who just covered the last two games that he was under center, almost went into Buffalo and pulled the upset out over there. Ryan Fitzpatrick is a backdoor cover machine, especially when you're talking about a double-digit opportunity here. And Fitzpatrick still has Devontae Parker, has Jersecki, the tight end, really starting to come into their own. This team has got heart. This team has got motivation. This team is not rolling over for anybody. Kudos to Brian Flores and the coaching staff there, not letting these guys roll over. And to think that anybody would actually lay 14 and a half points with Mason Rudolph and this Pittsburgh Steelers offense, it's laughable. They shouldn't be laying 14 points to anybody. I don't care that it's the Miami Dolphins. To me, this has got cover written all over it for the Miami Dolphins. And if the Pittsburgh Steelers are not careful, this could end up being one of the most embarrassing losses that Mike Tomlin and this franchise has actually seen in a very, very long time. By the way, it should be noted, too, that a Fitzmagic backdoor cover of him trying to keep it within a touchdown here, or two touchdowns rather, against a sub-500 team with a backup quarterback itself. Yeah, guys, this is what we're always looking for, value as sports investors, right, guys? We're always looking for the value play. You have it. Unfortunately, this is a great time to remind you guys another saying and another thing we talk about a lot here, right? I don't give a shit what the name of the jersey is. I don't care what the name of the team is, what the back of the jersey says. You are not betting teams. You are betting numbers. And the number for this game stinks to high hell. The number in this game is ridiculously far off. No way that anybody that the Pittsburgh Steelers should be laying two touchdowns against anybody, much less the Miami Dolphins. Because here's a newsflash for you guys. Those of you Pittsburgh Steelers fans, you know this to be true. The Achilles heel for Mike Tomlin over his career at the Pittsburgh Steelers has been playing down to his competition. This is exactly the game, the kind of opponent that Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers have thrown up all over themselves over the years. These are the games that they, A, don't cover, and B, they flat out lose. They have always had a history of playing down to the competition. They play up when they feel challenged. They've always been able to deliver against the equal teams or the teams that are a little bit more talented to them. But the teams that are below 500, the lesser teams, over the years, Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers, they don't play above it, they play below it. They come down to that level, and that means they don't end up covering. In fact, coming off a bye week, while guys like Andy Reid and Bill Belichick are almost unbeatable, Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers are not. In fact, over their last 9 games coming off a bye, Mike Tomlin has won and covered 2 of them. That's right. He's covered 2 of the last 9 games against the spread off a bye. 2-7, guys, out of the last 9 against the number. That is what Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers are. So there is no advantage. In fact, when you put it all together, the idea that we're looking at Mason Rudolph, a offense that has not dazzled anybody, coming off a bye with a coach who has a history of not being able to get his teams to play up to the competition, but rather down to the competition. Yeah, I'll take the 14 points here, guys. And you don't have to bet the game. That's another thing to remind you. But this is a great lesson once again in sports investing 101. It doesn't matter. It's the Dolphins. The only thing that matters is that the number. That's what you are betting, the number. And right now, this number at 14 and a half, it's got a lot of value, guys. So if you are looking for something to play tonight and you want to just casually observe what's going to happen in Monday Night Football, I would definitely recommend backing the Miami Dolphins. Take the points and watch Fitzmagic do his thing. There will be opportunities for Fitzmagic to be able to move the ball here, and there will be some opportunities, of course, for Pittsburgh. I would also look at the over in this game. I'm not necessarily sold that the under is going to be to play. I do think that both of these offenses are going to have, pretty easy time moving the ball. Points, I don't think will be at a premium here tonight. So the number is hovering around 43.5, 44 with our friends over at uwager.lv. Might be a play that you guys want to look. And I know you're going to want to throw up just thinking about the idea of watching the Dolphins play football on Monday night. And let's hope the schedulers at the NFL never have to do this to us again and force us to watch 2 crap teams like this have to go at it on a Monday night. But we also have the NBA here, guys. So, yeah, we've got the NBA started. So, thank goodness it's a beautiful time of year when the NFL gives us crap like this. We can turn over to the NHL or the NBA. And there is a game here tonight that I've already gone out and bet, guys, a game that I think actually gives us really, really, really good value in it. And if you can shop the number around, again, have multiple places to go get the number, take a look at the Utah Jazz taking on the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns coming off a situation, a back-to-back, where they upended the Clippers over the weekend. Got to be excited about that. We're talking about a Utah Jazz team that likes to play defense, likes to play a lot of defense. They've already lost Ayton because he took a diuretic to mask something, or maybe he didn't. The bottom line is their center, their all-star center, is not available. Also, Ricky Rubio, excellent defender, but dealing with a bit of a knee issue as well. So he's a little bit banged up. So no DeAndre Ayton. Ricky Rubio's a little banged up over here. They are going to have a hard time scoring against a Jazz team that puts an emphasis on defense, guys. That's exactly what they do. They're allowing just 88.7 points per 100 possessions in a game. And I would not at all be surprised here, guys, if we're talking about a 98 to 87 kind of game, 100 to 85, 101, 105 to 88, that kind of situation here. Well under the 213, 214 points of the total in this game. So I went ahead, took the under 214 in the Utah Jazz Phoenix Suns game here tonight. By all means, guys, play what you will, but I do think there is definitely some value in backing the under in this game. The Jazz love to play defense. The Phoenix Suns, upbeat, athletic, but they are hurting right now, and this is by far going to be, and it's got letdown written all over them, coming off a big win against the Clippers. Yeah, the Clipper, I can promise you, Utah is not going to have the lapses in defense that the Clippers did in that game against them. So expect a little bit of a letdown here and go ahead and back the under in this game. I would also go ahead and even back the Utah Jazz, lay the 4.5 points. I think it's a rather easy victory for them here tonight. So the under in that game, I'm going to keep my fingers that the Knicks cover, but I don't think they do. I definitely think the Knicks are on the right path long-term, finally. I think they've got some direction there with R.J. Barrett and Knox and company, but I do think the reality is the other rookie on the court there tonight for the Chicago Bulls, Kobe White, Zach LaVine, Markkanen. They've got way more talent on the Chicago Bulls that's further along, I think, in their careers and further along as a team. As much as I would love to see the Knicks actually pull something off here, I do think there's also some value with the Bulls on the money line at -125, -130 if you guys can find it. That, to me, I think is where it's going to go. I want the Knicks to be good. Opening night, took them. I always think I was the only person in this world who took the points against the San Antonio Spurs, and they covered last week. But now we're at that point in the NBA season where, yeah, guys, we're going to start getting 3-4 games a week out of players, going to get some scheduling conflicts, those types of things. And now we're going to see some of the teams who are a little bit better conditioned, a little further along. There are going to be some opportunities here in the upcoming weeks in the NBA to take advantage of some misguided numbers. But I do think tonight, even the Bulls in the Garden, I do think, and what a rivalry over the years that was, back in the day. But, yeah, it hasn't been in a long, long time. But I do think the Bulls just have a little bit too much talent, too much firepower at this point in the game. I would expect that the Bulls be able to win this, although deep down inside, I really hope the Knicks have a better season. So that's it, guys. That's what we're looking at here tonight. Free play is don't leave those points on the table. Go back. The Miami Dolphins here tonight. Take the 14 points. If you're looking for a little action, you got an itch, you're like, I can't deal with this, no problem. Take the 14 points. The value is in the Miami Dolphins and good old Fitzmagic there tonight, taking it to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Steelers in all likelihood will win this game, guys. But would anybody be surprised if Fitzmagic there in the final minute of the game throws a touchdown pass that means absolutely nothing and stays within the 14.5 points? Exactly. Take the Miami Dolphins here tonight. Go ahead, take the under. Utah Jazz and the Phoenix Suns. I'm also leaning towards Utah, leaning towards the Bulls here tonight. And, of course, I would recommend that you guys head on over to our friends over at sportsmemo.com. They've got plays ready to rock and roll for you here tonight. Free plays, information, everything you need to be a profitable sports investor over at sportsmemo.com. And, of course, guys, do not forget about our friends over at Paperhead. Oh, what is Paperhead, Joe? Well, let me explain something to you guys. Another very profitable, and I mean profitable, weekend in the NFL for sports books. Why? Because, well, the public lost again. They lost on teams like the Raiders, who covered against those favorites at Houston. Also, the Denver Broncos covered, guys, against who? Yeah, they covered against the Indianapolis Colts there. The Atlanta Falcons backdoor covered a huge favorite in Seattle. These were some of the biggest bet games of the weekend, and yet the public lost. And when the public loses, guys, you know who wins? The books do. So the question is, why should the big-time books be the only one making money? Have you guys ever thought about becoming an independent sports book on your own? Yeah, you don't have to have millions of dollars, guys. You don't have to have 5,000 clients. If you have friends, if you have coworkers, if you have family members, if you have people around the country here who are like, you know what, I wish I had a place to be able to place some bets. Well, that's exactly what our friends at paperhead.com provide you. The opportunity to set yourself up and create your own sports book business. Right now, you become the book, guys, and it's way easier than you think. All you have to do is follow the links, guys. Get over to paperhead.com/Joe. They'll get you signed up. It takes 15 minutes, and it takes zero money out of pocket to get it set up. They will be there step by step along the way, giving you guys the opportunity to be your own book. And whether you have one person, two people, three people, five, it doesn't make a difference, guys. The bottom line is, why try to beat the books when you can actually be the book? You've got the clientele, I am sure, right in your own phone. You've got people you know at the office, in your fraternity, at school, wherever it may be, guys. You have people who are probably looking to bet a few bucks. Well, why not take the action, guys? But you got to have the software. You got to have the company that you trust. And that company right now, I wouldn't trust it with anybody outside of the industry leader. Paperhead.com, the technology leader when it comes to sports books for the last 20 years, guys. Paperhead.com. Call them. Takes 15 minutes to get set up. 888-762-2111. That's 888-762-2111. Get yourself set up, guys. If you've ever thought about starting your own side hustle here and have your own book, now would be the time to do it. This time of year, guys, for the next 6 months, unbelievable opportunity to make a great side hustle. Having your own book. 888-762-2111, guys. That's 888-762-2111. Call our friends at paperhead.com today. All right, guys, good luck no matter what it is that you decide to play tonight. If you're going to back Pittsburgh, best of luck to you. If you're going to take the over in the Utah-Phoenix game, again, best of luck to you. Whether you fade me, whether you back me, whatever it may be, guys, just go ahead. Good luck. Cash those tickets. Come back and join us again tomorrow. We'll have a whole new set of free plays for you. Plus, we'll have some interesting insight. I'll share with you guys tomorrow what I've already went all in on Game 6 of the World Series. I went all in, pushed my chips into the table on Game 6 of the World Series. I'll tell you what that play was. We'll do that coming up here tomorrow. Come back and follow us, guys. Make sure you share this video, like this video, all that good stuff along those lines. Good luck no matter what it is that happens here tonight, guys. Good luck to you. Cash those tickets. Come back and join us again tomorrow. Thanks so much for making us a part of your day. Good luck to you guys. We'll talk to you again then. Make sure you head over to sportsmemo.com.